President-elect Donald Trump said he can't guarantee that his promised tariffs on key U.S. foreign trade partners won't raise prices for American consumers, and he is suggesting anew that some of his political rivals and federal officials who pursued legal cases against him should be imprisoned. Trump told NBC News that he can't guarantee anything about prices during an interview with the network at New York's Trump Tower. He touched on monetary policy, immigration, abortion, healthcare, and U.S. involvement in Ukraine, Israel and elsewhere. Over the course of the interview, the president-elect offered conflicting statements on how he would handle the U.S. justice system. At points he suggested he was not interested in vengeance, but he would not explicitly rule out prosecutions of political rivals.
What are the top ones people should know about?
A lot of it will have to do with economics, a lot's going to have to do with energy, a lot's going to do with having to do with the border. We're going to immediately strengthen up the border and do a real job.
Economists of all stripes say that ultimately consumers pay the price of tariffs.
I don't believe
Can
it.
you guarantee American families won't pay more?
I can't guarantee anything. I can't guarantee tomorrow. But I can say that if you look at just pre-COVID, we had the greatest economy in the history of our country. And I had a lot of tariffs on a lot of different countries, but in particular China. We took in hundreds of billions of dollars, and we had no inflation.
I began the interview with one of the top issues for voters, the economy and the cost of living. Will you try to replace Jerome Powell?
No, I don't think so. I don't see it, but I think if I told him to, he would. But if I asked him to, he probably wouldn't. But if I told him to, he would.
You don't have plans to do that right now?
No, I don't.
But is it your plan to deport everyone who is here illegally over the next 4 years?
Well, I think you have to do it. And it's a very tough thing to do. But you have to have, you have rules, regulations, laws. They came in illegally. The people that have been treated very unfairly are the people that have been online for 10 years to come into the country.
Will you restrict the availability of abortion pills when you're in office?
I'll probably stay with exactly what I've been saying for the last 2 years, and the answer is no.
You commit to that?
Well, I commit. I mean, do things change? I think they change. I hate to go on shows like Joe Biden. I'm not going to give my son a pardon. I will not, under any circumstances, give him a pardon. I watched this, and I always knew he was going to give him a pardon, and I don't like putting myself in a position like that. So things do change, but I don't think it's going to change at all.
You said that
Where
during
did I say that?
the campaign.
Where?
You said that on Truth Social, June 12th, 2023. I will appoint a real special prosecutor to go after the most corrupt president in the history of the United States, Joe Biden, and the entire Biden crime family. Are you going to do that? Are you going to go after Joe Biden?
I'm really looking to make our country successful. I'm not looking to go back into the past. I'm looking to make our country successful. Retribution will be through success. If we can make this country successful, that would be that would be such a great achievement. Bring it back. And Cheney was behind it. And so was Benny Thompson and everybody on that committee. For what they did, honestly, they should go to jail.
So you think Liz Cheney should go to jail?
For what they did.
Everyone on the committee, you think?
I think everybody anybody that voted in favor.
Are you going to direct your FBI director and your attorney general to send them to jail?
No, not at all. I think that they'll have to look at that, but I'm not going to. I'm going to focus on drill, baby, drill. I'm going to look at everything. We're going to look at individual cases,
Okay.
But I'm going to be acting very quickly.
Within your first 100 days, first day?
First day.
First day?
Yeah, I'm looking first day.
Issue these pardons.
These people have been there, how long is it, 3 or 4 years?
Okay.
By the way, they've been in there for years, and they're in a filthy, disgusting place that shouldn't even be allowed to be open.
Should Ukraine prepare for less aid from the United States after you're sworn into office?
Yeah, probably. Sure.
You said you can end the war in 24 hours. You've even said you want to try to end it before you're sworn into office.
I'm trying to end it.
You're actively trying to?
I am.
Have you talked to President Putin?
No, I have not.
You haven't talked to President Putin
No, I have
since
not.
you've been elected?
No. Well, I don't want to say that, but I haven't spoken to him recently.
So you've spoken to President Putin since you've been elected?
I don't want to say that. I don't want to say anything about that because I don't want to do anything that could impede the negotiation.
To the people who say that you're now directing your Justice Department to investigate 2020, and they want to move on.
Very capable. I think Pam is going to be great.
Precious resources.
By the way,
is that what you want them to do?
Just so you know, I have the right to do that, but I'm not interested in that.
Oh, you're not. You're not going to do that.
I'm not interested.
Okay.
I have the absolute right. I'm the chief law enforcement officer. You do know that. I'm the president. But I'm not interested in that. You know what I'm interested in? Drilling and getting prices down and stopping people from pouring into our border that come from prisons and mental institutions.
Have you thought about your message for your second inaugural address? Can you give us a preview?
The forces operating in the city of Dira in the southwest of Syria and previously receiving funding from Russia announced the creation of the Southern Operational Headquarters on the side of the so-called opposition. The statement was published by the headquarters. They announced their intention to unite with Turkish proxy units and Islamists, Hayat Tahrir al-Sham, and march to the capital of Syria, Damascus. There they intend to fight with terrorism, sectarianism and tyranny. That's how they call the Alawites and Bashar Assad's regime. One of the tasks of the headquarters, according to the application, will be to control the borders of southern Syria and preserve security and stability. They called on the civilian institutions on the controlled territory to continue their work, and the residents to save and protect the state institutions from encroachment and vandalism. The manifesto also contains an appeal to the fighters of the Assad government army to go to their side. Blogger Gwalit al-Mutik, whose author Bellingcat called that the 8th Brigade of the 5th Corps of Bashar Assad's army joined the new headquarters. This corps was created by the Russian army in 2016 from the former opposition forces that defected to Assad. The 8th Brigade consists of former fighters of the Turkish proxy group Youth of the Sunni Forces. Also, the corps was trained by the Wagner group Hunters for ISIL and earlier the pro-Iranian Quds Brigade. Until 2017, the Russian General Valery Osipov commanded the corps. Russia financed the corps and supplied its tanks and BMPs. Now the corps became part of the Islamist forces. The statement also called on the Assad army to join the ranks of the new Syria by defecting from the criminal gang. The rebels also took control of all the checkpoints in the towns of Karak al-Sharqi, al-Maliha al-Garbiya, al-Sawa and al-Muzaffira east of Dara, and seized a tank and a vehicle. They also took control of the Al-Majbal checkpoint located east of the town of Mohaja and affiliated with the state security branch, the town of Nimr and the state security checkpoint in the village of Samlin. This was accompanied by violent artillery and mortar shelling by Assad's forces on the liberated villages and towns, where civilians were wounded, including children, as a result of shelling by the Jadida battalion that targeted civilian homes in the cities of Nawa and Jassim. The rebels attacked the military security branch and the district building in the city of Nawa with light and medium weapons, and seized weapons and ammunition. They declared a curfew due to the bombing that the Assad regime began on the city, which also caused a number of injuries. The rebels launched a surprise attack on an Air Force intelligence checkpoint in the village of Al-Jubalaya, located on the administrative border between Dara and Quneitra, amid retaliatory artillery shelling by Assad's militias on the village.